Hi, guys. Welcome to my next edition of the Houck Report. There's a lot of going on in the news right now that I'm really upset about, especially regarding our Second Amendment. First of all, let me just top off something by saying about the shooting in Las Vegas, that the girlfriend of the perpetrator is finally back in the United States, being questioned by the FBI or the law enforcement. I think I think we're going to find out a lot about, from this woman. And you got to remember, there's a possibility she did not know about the attack, so there is definitely a possibility of that. And I'm sure, while they're conducting their interview of her, they'll be able to find out whether or not she knew about it or not. Even if she didn't know about the attack, we're going to know about, his behavior, how he's been acting for the last year or so. We know that this concert series was put together sometime in February, and then we purchased a lot of the guns in June. So maybe she noticed some kind of difference in him psychologically, or maybe he spewed a lot of type of political rhetoric or rhetoric regarding something else. This way, law enforcement will be able to focus on a reason for this attack. So I think we're going to find out a lot here. I think within the next couple of days, they're going to come out and they're going to tell us, what kind of information that they obtained from her. And we're going to be enlightened about, why this attack occurred. So anyway, right now, this Second Amendment issue that we're talking about, which we shouldn't even be talking about right now, is becoming the main focus as far as the Democrats are concerned. So I put a little commentary together, and with maybe my solutions to what happened, or some steps that we can take. I'm going to read it off to you, and I'll wait for some of your responses. Okay. Me. All right. The recent attacks from the left regarding the Second Amendment in the midst of a horrible massacre that just took place in Las Vegas is pathetic, and it shows a complete disrespect for the victims and reveals that they are willing to utilize such a horrific attack for their own selfish political gain. Let's face it, many Democrats want to take away your Second Amendment rights, but they are too afraid to say it because they are spineless cowards. However, Americans will never let that happen. They know that their anti-gun rhetoric will never take away our Second Amendment, but they just say it to appease their lunatic left supporters. This is a con game Democrats run on their own constituents, and they eat it up. The one thing we can depend on when it comes to Democrats' solutions to the problem is that they never work. So here's the truth. Listen, there is no way, no solution to stop these attacks from occurring short of taking every gun from every American. That's the only solution to stop it completely. So as my friend S.C. Cupp stated on her show Unfiltered on Headline News yesterday, even if that occurs, evil lunatics will find another way to kill, and only criminals and cops will have guns. This would leave us all as prey for the criminal element with no way to protect ourselves. The crime will then considerably increase, and police can only do so much, and they can't be everywhere all the time, guys. It'll create a new black market for illegal guns, which will increase the crime rate because every weapon imaginable will be eventually available to all criminals. Remember Prohibition? That boosted organized crime, and the crime rate skyrocketed. So here's my solution. Now, these solutions are only strategies to reduce the amount of injuries and keep the guns out of the hands of criminals in the event of an attack. So I've got 10 basic points here. Things that we can implement pretty quickly if a lot of people agree. The first thing is background and psychological background investigations on all individuals who purchase any gun, whether it's from a store or from another person. And this can be easily done if you want to buy a gun from another person by just entering a gun store and have them run the check on the person you're selling the gun to for a small fee. Second, ban military ammunition such as NATO rounds, which were probably used in this attack. These are designed to utilize in combat to create, if not deadly, but horrific, life-threatening, disabling wounds. Therefore, bullet manufacturers will make bullets that would not create these specific types of wounds when someone is struck. All right, so these would be the type of bullets that are available to the public and people, that purchase weapons. There's no need for Americans to have NATO rounds. Okay. The third is awareness programs for civilians and how to react to such an attack. All right. A lot of people aren't aware. They don't know what to do in the event something like this happens. So there should be, free awareness programs by the police departments, by the feds, just to make people aware of what's going on out there. And if something like this happens, what are your choices? Now, my fourth one, which I like a lot, is real prosecutions for gun criminals, like a mandatory 10 years for guns added onto your sentence for committing a crime with a gun and being in a possession of an illegal gun with no parole. Okay, so listen, if the Democrats are so behind getting guns off the street, this is one of the suggestions that I'm making that will significantly, and I mean significantly, reduce the gun violence in the inner cities especially. But they're not going to like that. They don't want people to go to jail. A lot of Democrats never met a bad guy they didn't like. Okay, my fifth one, life imprisonment for gun trackers. I'm talking about gun traffickers who buy guns, enormous amount of guns, and then they sell them. Okay, so if you're a gun trafficker and you go somewhere down south, purchase a lot of guns, come back up north, or wherever you come from or wherever you go to, if you get caught, life imprisonment, no parole. All right. If you're the kind of guy who just sells a gun on the street, first offense, 10 years. The next, life. Again, the Democrats aren't going to like that one. If they do, I'll be shocked. Some Democrats will like it, especially ones with constituents that, that have a lot of gun owners, in their district. Number 6, illegal to make any conversion to a weapon which turns it into fully automatic, like what we just saw in Las Vegas. Completely illegal, and then in the event you get caught doing that, 5 years imprisonment. Okay, number 7, some pro-gun guys aren't going to like this, I know, but I think this is, a pretty good thing in that we should limit magazines and clips to 30 rounds. I saw some of the weapons that were laying on the ground or on the floor of the Las Vegas shooter, and excuse me. And I saw that some of those magazines were 50 rounds. So we can limit it to 30. I mean, who needs a 100-round clip, 50-round clip? I mean, we got to give in just a little bit here. And this isn't taking away your right, your Second Amendment right. Okay, number 8. Make it easier for law-abiding Americans to purchase guns by getting rid of the intentional bureaucratic nightmare created by some states to discourage potential gun owners. Now, there's some states out there that, like I said, it's a nightmare to get a gun permit. Like in New York City, forget it. It's a freaking nightmare. All right, and it takes months. We need to do away with that. Okay, we need to make it easier for law-abiding Americans to purchase guns. All right, and of course, I got to have the background check, like I said. Okay, number 9, make it easier for those gun permits to be able to obtain a concealed carry permit once properly trained. So if you already got a gun permit to be able to purchase guns, you've had the background check and everything like that, you should be able to carry have a concealed carry permit. Excuse me. So, just as long as you're properly trained. I mean, it's very important to be properly trained. We're going to carry a gun because you got to know when to use it. All right. And you should be able, be made to qualify every year. I think that'd be a good idea. I think a lot of people that have concealed carry permits anyway go to the range a lot. And my last one, all gun owners trained in safety and how to keep weapons secure in their homes. Now, this is important because a lot of burglaries that occur, and a lot of stolen guns, come from burglaries in homes. Just teach these people how to keep them safe, and when they're not home, and keep them in a locked safe or something like that, where it makes it harder for the bad guy who actually finds a place where a gun might be for him to be able to get it. I don't think gun owners should be responsible when a gun is stolen from their home. All right, it's not their fault. It's the bad guys. Just like the shooter in Vegas. All right, it wasn't the gun's fault. It was the shooter's fault. Okay, so I think this is a good start. Listen, I didn't think of everything. However, I think this is a common sense approach that most, advocates can accept. I'm not the almighty and, don't have all the answers, but I do have suggestions to help start, hopefully, a common sense discussion. All right, so let me know what you think. I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I think most gun owners, would agree with this, and it doesn't touch on the Second Amendment at all. I think bullets are a very important factor here. We have a lot of kill bullets out there, special blow-up bullets. I don't think civilians should be able to have those. So my throat's getting a little dry here. But let me know what you think, and if you want to add on to this, add on to it. Because like I said, these are the top 10 that I came up with, and, there might be other suggestions out there for this to work that might be better than my suggestions. I'm willing to, accept that, and I'm not like I said, I'm not the almighty here, so, I'm just I'm trying to come up with common sense solutions that'll reduce this from, will reduce the chances of this occurring, and also, if in the event it does occur, that less people will be injured. I think another thing is a police response. The police response was fantastic in Las Vegas. Don't let anybody tell you that that they were slow. I mean, within I think 11 minutes, all the shooting had stopped. We're hearing about how the SWAT team took 70 minutes or some time like that again. But listen, the shooting stopped, so they were probably making a determination what had happened. And probably when they heard that last single shot where he killed himself, they pretty much knew that the shooting was over. That's what I would have thought if I was on the other side of that door. When you have automatic shooting going on, stops, and then all of a sudden one shot, you can pretty much come to the conclusion that the perpetrator killed himself, like what occurred here. So, listen, I want to address a couple other things. I was on YouTube and I was on Facebook, and I'm looking at these pictures of these conspiracy theorists saying that there was a shooter on the 6th floor, and they had pictures, and they have what looks like to the amateur, flashes coming from the 6th floor. The one thing that stood out to me is that they have one video of a guy in a car turning around and driving right in front of the alleged gunfire coming from the 6th floor and videotaping it. And there was no sound. So what I think what's happened is somebody went over there and they rented a room. They got a strobe light, used the strobe light, and set this whole thing up to make it look like there's some kind of conspiracy by the FBI and the police, and some craziness happened besides what happened. Like the government's involved or something. Listen, don't pay attention to these videos. They're ridiculous. They don't make any sense. The glass wasn't broken out. And if you actually look at the flashes, looks like it's a strobe light. Doesn't look like anything, like any rounds going off. And they also did not have the sound on. And why didn't they have the sound on? Every time you take video from your cell phone, it's automatically on. So they made a concerted effort to turn it off so you couldn't hear the gunfire. All right, so it's a lie. It's fake. It didn't happen. The Las Vegas Police Department is being very open, very upfront about everything that's going on. I've never seen so many statements to the press that I've seen the Las Vegas Police Department do since the shooting. It's amazing. They're doing a hell of a job. The sheriff's office is doing a hell of a job. Law enforcement, all working together in this, did a fantastic job, and I'm very proud of what they did. And let's all just mourn the people that died. And you know, we can talk about this issue again some other time, but I felt that I had to talk about the gun issue because gun owners are being turned into a bad guy here. You know, you got legal gun owners that are law-abiding that are getting the fingers pointed at them. You know, and you had what's it, Dana Lash. She's a spokesperson for the NRA and is also a what's the name of that show that she's on? Anyway, sorry, Dana, I didn't come up with the name of the show. But listen, she's excellent. She's been threatened. She's been called horrible names. I posted her statement, The Blaze, that's it. She's on The Blaze. And I posted her statement on Facebook, so please watch it. The horror she's going through because she's protecting our Second Amendment. Nobody should have to go through that. And it just shows you how violent the left is. It's crazy. I mean, so many liberals out there are violent. I mean, this CBS executive, she was fired. I mean, the horrible tweet that she sent out regarding, you know, that these people should all die because they're Republicans, you know, or they support Trump. I mean, that's insanity. Listen, liberal lunatics drive me crazy. I do not want to see any of them hurt or dead. Okay? All I want to do is come up with a vaccine to cure them from their liberal lunacy. All right, so let me know what you think, guys. And I'm going to have a new promo for the show coming on. I'm hoping to do 1 or 2 of these a week if I can. So the one you're going to see before this show today is not the finished product. We have another one coming out soon, and hope you like it. So until next time, I'm signing off. Bye-bye, and God bless.